Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Gonna go over top 7 plays I'm looking at for tomorrow: SDIG, LQDA, CLNN, USEA, TBLT, SKYX, and FFIE. So first off here on the chart, we got TBLT, which was a nice play for me. I'll make another video on that later. Let's get rid of that. But solid push, volume very good. We got a little breakout here. Came back and confirmed the breakout, pretty much closed right above it and held that 4 area. So I think this might still be in play tomorrow. We'll see how it opens up, or just keep an alert, just looking for the previous high at daybreak. If it could come back to 518, this is a really low float play. If shorts fail to break this down, they will get squeezed some more. And yeah, pretty much that. If it can just hold up, come back to previous high day, which is today's high, 518, and confirm that area, I think at least 6 is within sights easily. So TBLT will be a top watch tomorrow. Next up, FFIE, solid push going from low 2s to low 8s, or high 7s rather. And now we got a solid pullback, and just going to keep waiting to see when the momentum shifts, when this starts trying to find a bottom, has a hard time heading lower, similar to WTRH today. The multi-day bounce has a hard time really pushing lower after a solid run up. Shorts take over. Once it fails to keep heading lower, dip buyers might come in, and shorts will lock in their profits as they're already up decently. And if it's not going to head lower, they're going to lock it in while they got their gains. So that will bring in some buying from them covering their position, and that just gives a solid push. And as I usually say, on average offers a 30% spike. This one ended up being around 35% or so today, within data. So pretty nice to see that as well. But that's the plan we're going to be looking for with FFIE. Might not be tomorrow, maybe next week, who knows. It's still downtrending here. But once we start finding a bottom and it has a hard time pushing lower and it comes back, breaks the new highs, confirms that high, and holds trend, VWAP, and starts uptrending, shorts are going to lock in their profits most likely, and that will give us the volume we need for the spike. So FFIE, just a simple multi-day bounce we're looking for. Next up, SKYX was a solid breakout play here, low volume. Now we're just looking for a multi-day bounce. I'm seeing this start off from the 2s, got to the mid 5s, right around 150%. So now we'll start looking for the multi-day bounce, as it is looking like it's having a hard time breaking much lower past 4. It's coming back here. And if that entry is missed, or if there's not much volume, you're uncomfortable with the multi-day bounce, it's not that far off from 550. A 30% spike would lead it to the multi-day breakout level. And if it holds up there, volume keeps coming in, confirms that mid 5s area, it could turn into a multi-day breakout, and from there could test 6, maybe higher. What do we got resistance wise here? High 5s or so. Might have some trouble there, but once it confirms that area, kind of has clear skies up until the 8th. So I don't know if it's gonna take off and go that high. All I want is my 10 to 20%, 10 15%, and that's it. So just keep this on watch for either a multi-day bounce or a breakout play, whichever way you prefer, you're comfortable with. USEA. Here we got another multi-day bounce. Had a gap up here, which killed the bounce yesterday. And here we are, pretty much stabilizing again. A couple days in a row. Hard time breaking past the mid 2s. And we got a little bit of volume and a little bit of perk here. So I'm thinking can't even talk. The bottom has been set. And if this could just start uptrending, that'll bring in more volume, leading to the multi-day bounce spike that we typically look for. And what was the close? 272. What are we at? Roughly 80 cents or so, right? Did I do that right? I'm not sure. It's late. I'm tired. Can't think. But from that, should land us around the mid threes. So we'll see how this thing sets up. It is a low float, so any shock in demand from buying is gonna definitely give a solid push. So just take your quick 10, 15, 20%. If you're pretty patient, try to work out the whole 30% or more. But keep this on watch as this had a solid push. Shorts are up. Did have bad news, but here we are stabilizing in the mid twos, and I think this could give a solid bounce. Then we got CLNN holding up, light volume, but still failing to really break down, and it's holding up. So I think if we could get back to the low fives, I think the breakout's 503, so we'll just call it 5. If volume comes back and it confirms the 5 area, definitely could be a setup to test. What do we got? What do I have written down? I wrote down nothing. Okay. Breaks low fives. Definitely could get to the mid fives. Quick 10%. And, just not a whole ton of volume back here. So if there really is volume behind the play, I think this could really get to 6. So we'll see how it sets up. As usual, these are just ideas, high odd patterns and setups that I think could happen, but they don't all need to work out. So just choose where your attention should be. Just keep these on watch and follow the momentum, essentially. LQDA, another potential breakout. It is a higher float. Volume will need to come back. But I do like today how it kind of just went sideways. It didn't have much selling pressure. So if this could fail to break down, volume could come back and it confirms the mid fives as a support area. I wouldn't mind grabbing some shares and taking to 6 at least for a quick 10% or so. The only thing I don't like really is the float. That's really it. But if the demand is there, that's what will drive it. If the demand is there. So keep an eye on volume and trend as usual. Those are the main things we usually talk about. But this does have some overhead resistance, which also makes me a little uncomfortable. So combining those two things, probably one of my least favorite plays out of my top plays that I'm talking about here. But nonetheless, could be something. What else? SDIG, last one here. Solid push today. Crypto play, Mara, Riot, a couple other plays moving decently past couple days. This could be a sympathy play. Didn't finish that nice here after hours, but solid push. Closed not that far off the highs. It's just after hours movement here that was kind of crappy. But if this thing finds itself back in the mid threes and confirming that area and other Bitcoin plays are moving, this could continue its break past the high of the mid threes, which also lines up with the high around June here. And then from there, could at least test 4. So we'll see what happens, but not that high of a float, low market cap. As we can see here, it can move pretty quickly. Shorts are probably in this. We got some consolidation areas here. So yeah, if it just, simply put, if it comes back, confirms the mid threes, shorts could get squeezed even more, even higher. Yeah, I gotta go to sleep. I'm getting tired here. So we'll just wrap it up. I'm just actually gonna throw in my trade of the day here instead of making a whole other video. TBLT was my trade. Took it from 356 to 426. Right out of the watch list yesterday. There was actually 3 plays here that were pretty nice. SIDU was a decent possible quick snipe, getting it from the low 4s. Ended up getting to 450 something. Decent little quick opportunity. WTRH, as we went over to give an example of FFIE, a multi-day bounce, worked out decently. Didn't play it. TBLT, that was the one that I worked out here, and was just looking for that 322 previous high day break, which lined up with another breakout level. super low float with garbage history, starting to uptrend. If the buying comes back, we can definitely get a squeeze, and that's exactly what happened. Let me pull my lines up. This is the uptrend I'm talking about here. Garbage history, but instead of just fading now, it's starting to give a little uptrend, and so a little bit of volume is coming back. So if it started to break the low threes and confirm these areas, I was looking for it to at least test 4, maybe higher, and it ended up working out beautifully. I couldn't be as patient as I could. I lasted this whole time, and then once it got to the low fours, I was just done. If I waited just a couple minutes, I was getting $1 plus. But here we are, gapping up, and from there, as long as it held around open price, I was going to be playing this as the breakout and open price play just stacked. It would have confirmed the area below as it's holding the open price. So when it starts bottoming out here, I start getting in. I forgot exactly if it was here or here where I got in, but 356 was the entry, and we got a little bump. Not enough volume, not enough momentum to really break through. So from there, it was judging how does this pull back, and it did not pull back that much. There wasn't much selling pressure going on. Kept holding VWAP. Overall, looked to be making another higher low to set up for the break of the 380s, which is exactly what happened. Very glad I was able to go through all this and be patient and just stick to the trend. We get this solid rip. Still sticking to my patience. I'm up at this point over 10%. But I'm just reading the volume, seeing what's going on with the chart, letting it tell me what to do until it starts getting to the 420s, 430 area, and then I just bitch out. But volume is still starting to pick up, not that much. And then the selling here in this one candle, if you can see it, not much selling. It's just this tiny little red candle between all these green candles. So show that there wasn't much selling pressure, and that with a float like this, the volume that's coming in, this should head higher. Still grateful for the play, 20%. Just gonna lock that in. Did what I wanted. Good lesson. Still got paid. Grateful for that. And then that was kind of it. There was a couple other plays, like we talked about WTRH. This was a solid multi-day bounce, as we talk about the failure to really break down. And once it comes back, breaks to a new high over the intraday high that it sets. Once it confirms that high, shorts should start covering. That should bring in the volume that it really needs to take off. And this one didn't work out perfectly at first. You have to probably be a little patient or play the second high a day break here, which offered a solid push into the 30s. Better percentage gain here than the first one. But yeah, so kind of a long video. Hope you guys stuck through this and got something out of this. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. I got the video lesson, the whole thing, posted on Twitter already. So check us out there, Pack-a-Punch Traders. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up there. Hope everyone had a great day. We'll catch you guys later. And let's just keep the momentum rolling. 2 more days left, and let's just enjoy the weekend. So study up, rest up, and let's come back tomorrow ready for some action.